Hey, you guys, welcome back. All right, so in the brief meditation prior to me hitting record on the camera, the word stalemate came up. Now, I've heard this word numerous times. I've never personally used it because I don't know exactly what it means. So I did take the time after meditation to quickly look this up. I didn't want to get caught up in the definition, but it has to do with an agreement not being reached. So there's no win and there's no lose, from what I understand. And it's also connected to the game of chess. But in the energy, for me, it was an above, so below type energy surrounding that. So it's like, it's also going on in the ethers. Therefore, that's why it seems like things are kind of like stale, like nothing's giving or nothing's taking right now, right? Because I'm sure you can feel that because you're here with me. We're here as one. So also the energy had to do with like a transition. So I was shown like the whole, like, was Vladimir Putin. I saw him kind of sitting behind his little war desk, in his suit, like, business as usual. But it's almost as if even all of the things that he's been trying to do to exert his power by way of, the ammunition and the war and the bombing, then the nuclear threats and all that good stuff, he's still not won yet. He's there, like the opposing side, even though they're smaller, lesser in force and size and all of that, but they're great in faith. Excuse me. They're not giving up. So right now it does seem like there's some sort of stalemate even in that 3D energy that's happening over there with the Ukraine. God bless them. But that's what we're experiencing now. But I'm going to go ahead. That was just the channeled energy. So we're going to pull some cards and see, well, what's going on here? Like, what do we need to do while we are in this stalemate energy? Like, what's happening here? Whew. All right. So I know we just need to continue to breathe. That's one. All right, let's jump into the cards, y'all. So excuse me in advance if I'm clearing my throat, but I had a cough, almost a little cough attack. But I've realized now when I have that, that's my body trying to repel or get rid of something that is foreign. It is not allowed in my body. So if there was some sort of attachment that tried to creep into like my throat chakra energy while I'm channeling, because I was about to do the reading and the cough came, and it happens during the reading. So, you kind of put two and two together after a while, like, okay, that's not circumstantial. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, so excuse me in advance. Whew. All right, here we go. Holy Spirit, what do you have for the collective? I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. Y'all, I've got some polls going on in the community tab. I've been kind of over there acting up a little bit. So I do appreciate your participation over there. That's a way you can kind of get to know my humorous side, or whatever else that it is that you possibly could try to get to know me with. How I interact and stuff like that. So I'm not some big scary person, even though people treat me like that sometimes, but I'm not. You just, if you're allowed entry in, then you'll see that I'm pretty laid back and chill, but you got to pass that fine line. I've always been that way, but if you're part of my collective, you know what I'm talking about. You've possibly been that way all your life as well. But yes, it's a privilege to get inside. And I take pride in saying that at this point. And I was thinking about something yesterday too, heavily crossed my mind. And I was like, I might mention that to the collective. But you realize like the people who have come in and out of your life, because they say people come for a reason, not for a season. But the ones who have came, they are gone. Like, do you not realize that possibly those were also agents that were sent to try to stop you? Think about it. Think about it. Like give each person that, you kind of thought that maybe y'all could build a connection, but it didn't quite work out because you had your reservations, but you weren't sure, but you were still kind of just, going with the flow of things. But then something, did ultimately end up being shown to you that it would happen, and it did happen. Like, that's like op agent energy. But it's like, how many people have really been sent to try to stop you? Like when you actually look at it, the timeline. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Thank you, Spirit. What do you have for the collective? What does the collective need to know and be made aware of? Here we go, y'all. What is the stalemate energy if it does come out in the reading? All right, here we go, y'all. Ooh, all right. So there is some sort of offer energy underlying this reading. This is the bottom of the deck energy. Now, this Page of Cups is somewhat of an immature offer. It might be coming from a place of innocence. It is in the upright, so it does look like, okay, it might be okay to allow this one in. Like whatever this small offering is, you know, it's possibly going to be accepted with it being in the upright. So we have to look at, you know, what else is going on here to know that it's okay to possibly allow whatever this is to happen. And I'm hearing maybe it's going to possibly get us out of this stalemate energy here. All right. Okay, so the Ten of Swords, I'm not surprised to see this because, you know, I was even talking about, because right immediately I'm going back to what I just mentioned. And there's no such thing as, you know, the circumstance energy or coincidental. There's no such thing as that. So the Ten of Swords energy, I'm thinking, you know, if we did have to think about all of these things, right? All of these mishaps, misfortunes, you know, we can't believe that they actually did that because the swords are thoughts. So if we're, you know, kind of dwelling on that energy of, man, you know, since I'm sitting here and things are kind of quiet. So it's like, it's almost as if things are kind of settling in. Like if this is like finally having like recognition or an idea of things, like taking a closer look at the damage of it all. That's one thing that, you know, could possibly be putting you in this energy. To where there is like no forward movement. Like it's I don't want to say that you're bringing it on yourself. Again, as above, so below. So there's something going on upstairs, you know, in another dimension, another realm that is happening here. So it's kind of like we just kind of have to wait and be patient and be understanding and just kind of, what did I hear earlier, y'all? Because that's what I'm being drawn to when I was in the mirror right before I came into this room. It started up. And it was something that I didn't want to accept. I just wanted to make sure it was coming from the light, you know, because I was looking at a big old mirror at that. And, you know, a mirror is a portal. So I just want to be, I don't want to play around with that kind of energy because I was receiving it right then and there. So I just needed to make sure it was coming from the light and not the dark. But let me pause for a moment. Give me just a moment here. So yeah, so what I heard in the mirror that I just was reminded of was be prepared. I heard be prepared in the mirror, but to me that sounded like warning shots. So I wasn't even, you know, to the point of coming to the table, doing my sound bowl meditation and receiving the energy of the stalemate. That was before that. So now that I'm being drawn back to the be prepared, let's go ahead and see what's behind this Ten of Swords, be prepared energy. All right. Here we go. I just want to do some reveals here. Y'all, while I'm flipping these cards over, my dreams, I mean, especially last night, I'm being shown like actual faces and seeing, it's like being a fly on the wall, except it's like I like take over like a participant in the situation in the room. So I get to observe and hear up close and see for myself to interpret in the dream state who these people are and what they're all about. But that's what's been going on for some time in my dreams. But last night and the night before was like really like, ooh, my God. Like I could feel the sentiments behind how I would feel if it happened in real life. But it's like being privy, like having information up front to know how to place this person and then them actually acting it out in the dream to say, oh yeah, I know exactly who you are. And that's all connected possibly to these cards, you know, that I read daily. But anyway, y'all, let me see what's going on here. All right, I'm gonna start with the obvious, with the conflict here. And then I'm gonna move up to this death card energy. Sorry, that was probably loud. All right, so this Five of Wands, obviously on top of the Lover's card, I can see that. So I'm hearing stalemate again. So there's a connection here that is destined to be made by way of this Lover's card, because this is divinity. This is divinely guided energy here, that these two are supposed to come in union, or are already in some sort of union, but they don't necessarily honor that union. Like to say, oh, I'm meant for you, you are meant for me. Because of this conflict here. The conflict with the Five of Wands has worsened. Because it's almost like I feel like it's like someone trying to get your attention, but they're being silent. Now, I want to be able to explain this. So give me a moment. Okay, I heard there's no act right. They don't have any act right with this Five of Wands reverse. So, okay, if we could skip past all of the butterflies and the cotton candy, I would just say that where I am right now is, you know, this could totally be that twin flame energy, that divine masculine, divine feminine energy. If there is some sort of war that's happening, of course, they're being blocked from you because, you know, you're successfully on your right path, your journey-wise. They are unfortunately still fighting battles, fighting demons. They're fighting themselves. They're fighting people around them. This is that Five of Wands energy in the reverse. Like what it was in the upright was like a little competition. Like, let me see what I got. Let me see who I can, you know, mess with. Let me see who's going to believe me. Let me see who I can challenge. In the reverse, it's like they're full on just fighting everybody. Because they've gotten away with it. They've gotten away with nobody really being, you know, like fair, or either they weren't fair competition. They weren't playing fairly. So now the idea with the Lover's card here is like, you know, in order for them to get right, they need to be in this divine connection, but they're not being allowed entry in. All right, I see an ace here. It's the Ace of Cups. Okay, so then we have the Five of Pentacles reversed right in front of that energy. So here we are back to this Page of Cups. So the idea behind that Page of Cups energy was this might be something worth paying attention to, whatever was going to be revealed here. So Five of Pentacles means coming out of not feeling wanted, being able to come out of a place of where one would feel that they've been cast away. So if this is, you know, the energy that's possibly coming from you, collective, to where if this was, you know, somebody who you knew you had some sort of divinely guided connection with, but they just didn't have the act right, you also know that there is a situation where you possibly, if you had the opportunity or the wanting to, the willingness to, you could definitely bring them out of this position. But what you want is them to identify that, you know, they've never been in touch with their emotions. You want them to identify that you are possibly going to be able to heal them. Not that you're God, but you have that energy, that essence of being like an empress. You can provide that healing that they need, that new start with, you know, them finally paying attention to what actually love is. Not only that, but self-love, them loving themselves. They're fighting everyone. So if they're understanding also that they need you to survive, like literally, then that's where they are right now. But it's possibly unfortunate because, you know, you've already made up in your mind that I'm not going back. Ten of Swords energy. All of this all of these different events that took place that left these swords in my front that are now, or at one point had me laid out on my back. Just open wounds all in the front. All right, y'all. So the stalemate energy is making so much sense right now, y'all. Oh my God. So you would be totally upset with me. You will be ready to just call me all kinds of names if I told you that person that treated you the worst, that you gave the most of yourself to, the one that you felt so divinely connected to. Nobody could tell you otherwise, just from your personal experience, that y'all have known each other before, even before you met. Just that knowing that you got from day uno when y'all met. And everything that played out that tried to break you, and you possibly have been connected to the readings to understand that brought you to a place of where you are now. The Empress, a lot of strength had to take place. Your self-love kicked in, all of that. You healed. So you would be so upset with me to tell you that this divinely guided representation of this Lover's card energy is connected to that person. You would be so upset with me. I know. But this stalemate energy, there has to be a breakthrough. There has to be some sort of breakthrough here. Now, I'm not telling you because I already told you the condition of this person. They're fighting everybody and themselves. But it's like you're the one who could bring them out of this and send them on their way to healing. Does that mean you have to be back with them? I wouldn't say so, but at least unblock them. At least do that, so if a message does happen to come through, that would make them feel like, I don't know, because I don't want to give you any advice, because definitely if you're connected to someone who has a history of abuse, they have a verbally or mentally, physically, or they have a history of, the manipulation and the vampire energy. Of course, I'm not recommending that you unblock them. But there is a group of you, just maybe possibly a few of you, who, fortunately did not experience that. It just didn't work out, but you thought maybe they just cheated on you. Maybe they were like a serial cheater, but they never, harmed you, or they never slapped you across the room or tried to take you to court for some malicious, just activities that weren't true or whatever that is. They didn't try to threaten you. They just had a problem with self-love. So they were finding love in other people, when you were the one that was going to be the one to be able to, allow them to be healed by way of the connection. Let me keep going, y'all. Let me keep going. But there is someone who is supposed to be in position in your life. But this Five of Wands reverse means that there's just something that you just, you don't really want to, or either they're not in a position right now to be 100% what it is that you would desire in someone. They're going to need some work here. But this is supposed to happen, because it's going to end this stalemate energy with this Five of Pentacles reverse, and then off to love, healing, peace, understanding, compassion, all of that with this Ace of Cups. So I said all of that to say that. Let me keep going, y'all. All right, so right above that, we do have the Death card energy. It's in the reverse, and then we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. So Spirit, what is this? The Death card in the reverse means that there is acknowledgement that something needs to change, but it's not happening. But with the Four of Wands reverse, there is some sort of canceling a canceling of an event, something tied to a celebration for family, where you would want to invite family to come gather around and witness this celebration with you. So it could be the canceling of an engagement or a marriage in the reverse. But the death card reverse is like, okay, so this doesn't mean that it's a transition, that it's going to be the end all be all that's going to create a better lane for this energy, because it's not being done the right way here. Now, if the death card were in the upright and then the Four of Wands was in the reverse, and it's like, okay, so there is going to be a, a divinely guided transition here. It's going to cause them, to have to walk away, or either the betterment of, once they walk away, that, there are some things that are going to transpire afterwards and take place that are going to, put them back on track. But it's not the case. They're both in the reverse. So what is actually being done for them to cancel out this family union? This foundation, this support. Let's move over to the side. We have the Two of Swords here. The Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, Ace of Wands. Look at all the swords, y'all. There's plenty of swords all day long. But let me see who this energy or what it is, where it belongs. Because they're on the side, so as a reader, I can't say if it's an upright or reverse. It's like energy that's to be determined. But I have to get an understanding here. Y'all give me a moment. So yeah, if it, connected to this death card reverse and Four of Wands reverse, there's some sort of release that's happening with this energy. So there's a decision here with this Two of Swords. And I'm hearing impending. So someone is obviously wanting to free themselves because they've been in captivity for so long with this Eight of Swords. And then the Five of Swords just has to do with there's just been too many instances that just aren't working out. Is the Five of Swords energy that I'm receiving. This Ace of Wands is knowing that, if this, excuse me, if this release were to happen, then that means that there's possibly new ground, new territory to explore here. But I feel like because with all the swords, someone's just been in their head for a long time now about leaving this situation of a relationship or a family dynamic. But the way that they're going out is not the right way. And I don't want to say it's a right or wrong way. I probably should not structure this as that, because, everyone has free will. And I don't want to come off judgmental. But let me get a clarifier, y'all, on this death card reverse, because I'm just feeling like just somebody being in their head for so long that they built up animosity, they built up hate, they built up, negative energies to where they're not leaving the right way. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to have some sort of closure with someone you've been together with so long. If we're talking about someone divorcing someone or someone leaving a relationship, you don't want to just leave. If you really love this person and they're your friend at the end of the day, and you possibly share kids, maybe you don't, but maybe there's properties that need to be divided. You want to make sure, even though y'all are departing, that you all are both taken care of, right? Because you're friends first. At least that's the fairy tale part of it. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how I would be, like, I'm not feeling you, but, at the end of the day, I still want to make sure, you're good, and you should want to know that I'm going to be good as well. That's what's happening here with this death card reverse. So I mentioned animosity. excuse me, could be the possibility of why it's in the reverse. Because if there were not those negative feelings still attached to this union before the departure, then it would seem like, okay, they would be granted an opportunity to, be able to start over, as well as to start healing from that, because, they've justified everything spiritually and accordingly to, how it's supposed to be, for them to be able to carry on into this new opportunity with this Ace of Wands. But there's still, that Eight of Swords has everything to do with, you could free yourself if you wanted to, but you're so caught up in your head and your mind. So that means even, when the release does happen by way of paperwork or that person moving out and moving on, there's still going to be this resentment energy, or this, I wasn't good enough. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, or maybe if I did it later, or, there's still going to be like, it's still kind of confusing. That Two of Swords has to do with not having a lot of information. So without a lot of information, they're going to draw their own conclusions, and that's still them being in this swords in their head energy. But there's no cups here. There's no cups here. So that's where that Ace of Cups comes in. And then that's that Page of Cups. Maybe they're going to come to you, whoever this person is, identifying that they've loved you all along, but they just didn't follow through with it. They didn't follow through. They didn't know how. They're in their head too much. Could be an air sign. Hello. That's for me, not for you. But yeah, information for you. But the sarcasm is totally for me. Oh my goodness. Y'all, somebody is wanting to present their cup of love because they know you can match that. Although your cup is much greater than theirs, they're at least coming with something to let you know that they've always cared. They've always loved you. They may not have shown that. They may not have been in a position to do so. So this is definitely energy of someone you've known before. You've dealt with them before on a spiritual level. That could be by way of a relationship, the encounter. Yeah. Somebody wants your attention. Remember I said something about them being silent? They haven't said anything. So when they do come to you, it's going to be something very small that they're offering to you or inviting you to, or maybe the way it comes across seems really innocent, but you need to know what's behind all of this. It's that Lover's card here. They want to be with you, but they gotta deal with this Five of Wands first. Or are you willing to help them deal with that, to bring them out of that energy? And then they're also going to match you and bring you out of your stalemate. See, this is that stalemate energy, to where you both experience this Ace of Cups together, divinely guided. This sounds beautiful, but if we could solve this right here, this Five of Wands reverse energy, then it'd be game on. And then that I feel like that's just connected to them being in their head. Like whatever if it's a physical person that they're getting rid of, I don't want to say getting rid of, but maybe that's what it looks like. Instead of them saying, okay, so if this is a guy, for instance, that's been married for some time, and they're like, yeah, I finally got rid of Sarah. She's out of here. That's not the attitude, or at least that's not how they should be looking at it, especially if it's falling on your ears and they're telling you and you're deciphering through the message like got rid of. What the hell does that mean? Like, are they gonna, is that the attitude they're gonna have toward me? Like, you just kind of have to fine tune your ears to listen, how they say it. I mean, that takes a little bit of wisdom. All right, y'all, let's see what else is here. I mean, all right, y'all, the Six of Pentacles is here. It's kind of on its side as well. So this means, this is also, y'all, this is giving stalemate energy all day long. It's like neither, In the upright, it would mean finally getting what it is that's owed to you that was being kept back from you. Things weren't fair. So finally somebody recognizes that, oh, here, you get a little extra this time, because they've been taking all the extra, but this time you're going to get what it is that, you've been slighted from. And the pentacles just represent, what means the most to you. But it's on its side, right? So it's like it's to be determined that this could possibly happen. That is something that you really put a lot of prized possession and compassion into, that you feel like it's worth something, like it's worth more than anything to be able to have this, to even the acknowledgement of is enough. But the pentacles are just representing like a outside, like a 3D, like a surface type of energy here. There are no cups. All right, y'all, let me dig a little bit deeper here. Let's see, we got a few more cards. Let me move out the way so I could scoot these down. Hopefully you could see these. All right, let's spread them out and see what's going on. So let me go to the obvious. We have a King of Swords seemingly in the reverse here. We have an Emperor reversed. So this Two of Pentacles could be connected to this Six of Pentacles here by way of this character energy. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this Emperor has fallen from grace to become this King of Wands. They are now who once was on a pedestal, who thought that, they could get away with whatever and people would still acknowledge them as being the emperor, no matter what. They didn't have to do much of anything because they had earned some sort of title. It could have been them anointing themselves with this title. Like this could be all ego based, but in the reverse right now, it's like an immaturity. They're not willing to take this this deduction of going to the King of Wands. They're not wanting to relinquish this title. They're throwing little fits and they're all in their feelings. They're just acting like a spoiled little brat right now. So this Two of Pentacles has to do with, I feel like, since we're going to the King of Wands energy, because we know there's been some sort of deduction, reduction, they took some sort of, what do you call that? When you have a position, instead of a promotion, it's demotion. They've taken a demotion. And even in the reverse, the King of Wands is feeling, that they don't belong in this place. They're so used to being a person of action and being highly recommended to be able to do this and that. So again, they could have just been anointing them own selves with this energy, all ego based. So this two of Pentacles has to do with a deciphering of, okay, so if I go this way, I could get, possibly this coin, could take me this direction, or this coin could take me this direction. But I'm feeling like these coins, okay, y'all, here it is. That's the connection. This King of okay, so who once was the Emperor, now demoted to this King of Wands. They've come upon some money. However that has been done recently, they've come up. So now they're trying to decide, should I make it right with the Six of Pentacles energy? Should I give, a pentacle to this person who I'm talking as the King of Wands here. This person that I personally know that could use the money. They possibly, could have used the money long ago because I was the one responsible for possibly providing said money and I did not do it. That's that energy. So should I make it right now? Because, the scales are here. So this has to do with justice. But you can also look at this as a scale, as a balancing act. They're trying to rationalize what kind of favor they're going to get if they go this way with it or that way with it. So one way would be to, give you, collective, what it is that you're owed by way of them withdrawing from you or not giving you or holding back, what it is that they should have given you. But then at the same time, I'm feeling like this has to do with them getting some sort of favor with you with the Seven of Wands, because the wands are connected to that King of Wands energy. So this is like, okay, so I got to do something here. So either they give the money to you or they give the money to them, because I'm looking at them here in these 6 other wands that they're faced up against. Who are these 6 other wands, though? I could dive into that, but I'm not even sure I want to right now. But just know that they are, there's something on the table here, because possibly they're also at a stalemate, because you're not trying to hear anything from this self-diagnosed emperor energy, because they are full of ego, they are full of pride, and that's what really turned you off, to where they're no longer part of the picture. But they're trying to take some sort of step of action of offering what it is to you that's most important to them, and it's all about pentacles. So there was some sort of action here that was done. It got them demoted, but they had to do what they had to do, quote unquote. So now they're feeling like, okay, if they come to I was about to say baby mama. If they come to baby mama and make it right, which they're really still playing into that ego and pride, because you can't place that over somebody's head. Whether, you can't play God with somebody, which is what they're used to doing, emperor energy. But they've been playing that role of, I could give it, but I don't have to, or I don't want to. Let me get some clarifiers on this, y'all, because this is kind of complex down here, because it just kind of, went there to where it's really just 4 cards, or, 4 connected to that 6 of Pentacles, but it's like so loud. Spirit, can you clarify this 2 of Pentacles, please? What is this 2 of Pentacles? So you guys, what I'm understanding now is there are two prospects on the table, but both of them got issues. One of them, their issues so well, and the other one is like they got issues on the other side. Whoever they're connected to is causing them this mental anguish issues, to even where if that person is long gone, they're still stuck with the mental anguish. So they'll really be not fresh and new and vibrant and ready to start over with you, collective, because they're still hanging on to the damage. Ooh, okay, that was quick. Okay, so we have the change card is here, so that should be a very good sign. But the bottom of the deck energy, but the clarifiers that fell on top of this Lover's energy. So let's see what all is going on. Expectation, bad health, mature woman. All right, them knowing that there's an elder in the family who possibly is in bad health and on their way out. There's something that they want to do, or possibly this mature woman would want to see them in some sort of situation that's going to make them feel good. I'm talking about your ex-person or persons, because both of these energies, these individuals, them. So them being connected to a mature woman, could be a grandmother, could be a mother, whoever this matriarchal energy is, could be in a position to where, they're buying time here. Excuse me. And so the expectation is that, your person would want to fulfill some sort of obligation before this person transitions, before this mature woman transitions. It's almost as if they want to go ahead and secure something while this mature woman is still here and alive to see it, because it would be self-gratifying for your ex-person to be able to make that happen. So if it could be the one instance where this divinely guided energy here to where they want to go ahead and make something appear right and appear beautiful to this mature woman before they transition. Maybe that's what their struggle is right now. Their struggle is, I can't leave, I can't divorce this person just based on the fact that I want to make my grandmother happy before they transition. That's when I said with the death card reverse, it's not being done on the proper terms. Because I'm hearing guilt, shame. These words are coming up now. I just need to see, how to place them. Because it felt like aftermath energy. So say, that they did go ahead and, get with you and they're able to say, look, grandma, I did it. But then they're still hanging on to this sword energy here. And that's going to be like your burden to bear. So that's the death card reverse. Like it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to bear that energy with them. Even though that's, what we're understanding is your person, that. But you don't want to bring on this conflict. Or do you? Well, there's going to be an initial ball rolling here, proverbial rolling of the ball here with this Page of Cups energy, because they're coming to announce or proclaim or help you understand why energy here. And then if this, okay, so the second part is this energy applying to, well, it fell up here, so I can't even say that it applies to the other energy with this Emperor, King of Wands reverse energy. But there also could be a mature woman energy on the table here to where they possibly have a mature woman who is about to transition in their lives, that they possibly want to gain some sort of favor with this mature woman by making something right with you by way of these pentacles. I don't know, that's pretty, it was pretty, I don't want to say obvious, but the energy did fall here. But again, I'm also feeling it could apply here as well. If we just take it back to the stalemate energy and how we're going to separate that stagnant energy to where we can definitely identify who is who. But right now it's like flat. All right, y'all, I'm gonna grab because I'm feeling, there's an energy of just, be inspired, or because it feels like you still have to get beyond a wall here. Either by way of this Ten of Swords, which is completion, or this Five of Swords reverse, which is like a carryover of someone else's mess. Spirit, can you offer a spellcaster oracle card, please, for this energy? Thank you. Okay. So it makes sense too that if this, this being like a quote unquote love reading, right? I can't tell you if it's good or bad. That's that stalemate energy. It's crazy, All right, here we go. Spirit, clarify the energy, please. All right. I'm seeing inspiration, hearing inspiration, being inspired energy, maybe keeping an open mind. Okay, well, maybe there's not a card. I'm definitely not going to fight for a card, y'all. Compassion is at the bottom of the deck. And this is giving me healing energy, healing the world. So if we're talking about above, below, as above, so below, that light that you have, the reason why you're here on this earth would have to do with this Lover's card. That inspiration energy, like looking at the big picture energy, identifying why it is that you're here. You know, that love, compassion, breaking these curses, allowing people in to be able to heal. Okay, so I did mention earlier, I was, telling you a little personal something about myself, about people coming in, and all of the people who have come in. If you look down the timeline of people who have ushered in, who you thought you could make a connection with, but then finding out, yeah, that's where no, it's not gonna work. And then, you separated from them. And these could be friends, these could be acquaintances, not necessarily lovers, but it's just, kind of wondering like who all has been an agent sent to try to stop me. But now this energy, is somebody from the past that it's undeniable that you had like a divine connection with them, but things did not work out. But they were never they were never abusive to you, because I said that clearly with this card. I said, I don't want you thinking about going back to someone who has been mentally, verbally, physically abusive to you. They should be blocked at all costs. But for this for this energy, I didn't feel that. Now, I'm not saying you haven't been around that with this Ten of Swords. I'm just saying that this particular energy was definitely divinely guided here. So it could be okay, so there it is. There it is. So this is also an energy, since I said there were two different energies here. One was not so good. One played the role of God in your life and thought they could get away with a lot of different things here. So I'm looking at a real twin, a real divine masculine versus a false twin, a false divine masculine. They've both ushered in and were a prominent role in your life, these two individuals. So that should help you confirm or identify and even confirm what you've already been feeling, because I'm just here presenting the energy. So that means you're already aware of this. But what it is also letting you know is the stalemate energy is that something has to break here. But it's possibly going to be with that inspiration energy that I was feeling, to where you're going to have to go ahead and do what it is that you signed up for. Compassion, bottom of the deck. All right. Change card, bottom of the deck. Why did I start whispering? I don't know, but I hope this helps.